A major shift just happened in the dog training world, and it affects every family with a dog. This may actually be the biggest shift we have ever seen in the dog training industry, because it not only affects the long-term direction of our field, but it affects animal welfare and public safety. A new set of ethical guidelines has just been released, and the largest certifying body, the Certification Council for Professional Dog Trainers, has been left out. That set of guidelines is known as the Joint Standards of Practice. And several major organizations have signed on. The International Association of Animal Behavior Consultants, the Association of Professional Dog Trainers International, and the Karen Pryor Academy are just a few of the bigger organizations that have signed on to this. These groups have agreed on a unified, welfare-based standard of what professional dog training should look like. And for the first time in our industry, the standard is crystal clear. Professional dog trainers should not be using fear, pain, or intimidation, or startle-based methods on the public's dogs. Under these new standards, trainers are required to use non-aversive, reward-based methods. No shocks, no prongs, no chokes, no exceptions. However, what's very interesting is who is not on this list. The Certification Council for Professional Dog Trainers, also known as the CCPDT, were originally a major part of the old 2018 Standards of Practice, the outdated version of this updated one. But those older standards still allowed for these harsh punishments. They were built around Susan Friedman's humane hierarchy, a framework that has not been peer-reviewed, and explicitly includes positive punishment or the application of an unpleasant stimulus to decrease a behavior if the trainer justifies that they're necessary after meeting a list of criteria. This humane hierarchy model was recently updated by Susan Friedman to have a roadblock at the end, leading some people to believe that using these harsh methods should never be used because it was a roadblock. But upon talking to Susan Friedman and being in contact with the CCPDT, it became crystal clear that positive punishment is indeed allowed under that framework. So this option would be open as a last resort, essentially. And this is the loophole that some organizations over the years have used to justify the use of the outdated methods we've been discussing. Now, in 2021, the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior released a landmark statement. Essentially, the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior stated, there is no evidence that aversive methods are more effective than humane methods. And on top of that, aversive methods are known to cause harm. That includes fear, anxiety, aggression, mistrust, a long list of others as well. So while the science has moved forward, the CCPDT has not. Earlier this year, our community raised significant awareness around these practices in the professional sector. Specifically, that the CCPDT is credentialing individuals who will shock the public's dogs, or choke, or intimidate the public's dogs. And instead of reassessing their stance, the CCPDT sent out an email to all of its members, which appeared to me and others to be AI generated, that completely misrepresented the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior's position on the use of these methods. The CCPDT said, hey, look, we are in compliance with the Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior, when in fact they were not. This became such a big deal that the American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior had to release a public statement making it crystal clear to dog trainers and the public, no, we do not support the use of these harsh methods for animal training or behavior modification in any context. And as far as I know, CCPDT still has not retracted the misinformation that they sent out, presumably all of their members. For an organization that claims to be responsible for setting professional standards like the CCPDT, this is a red flag at the very least, and in my view, a severe disqualifier to the organization. I'm happy to report to all of you that the truth is this: the industry is realigning around welfare-based standards and ethics that are rooted in science. Respected organizations are doing what they should do. They're moving forward. And I think it's interesting to see the outlier extremist organization in our field, the CCPDT, continue to insist on being alone. I want to be really clear. There are many hardworking, ethical, professional trainers who have a certification with the CCPDT. They earn those credentials in good faith. But because it appears that CCPDT refuses to evolve, many of them are now seeking membership elsewhere. And the reason they have to now do that is so that the public understands that they, as a trainer, are not affiliated with these cruel and outdated methods. We don't call out organizations or brands lightly around here. We only do so when the evidence is overwhelming, and ignoring it would put dogs and the public at risk. And right now, the evidence is overwhelming. The joint standards of practice are an important step in the right direction. They bring our profession closer to the scientific consensus that has existed in our field for years. This truly is a turning point and a big deal in the animal training and behavior field. So I'm anxious to hear what you, the public, what you dog trainers have to say about this. Like and follow if you want to hear more about this. Tell me what you think about the new joint standards of practice and the decision by the Certification Council for Professional Dog Trainers to not align with modern professional standards.